You're listening to Catholic Sprouts, the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Tuesday, May 14th, 2019. This week on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, we are talking about Our Lady of Fatima, particularly the time 102 years ago when Mary appeared to three poor shepherd children. She appeared to them the 13th of the month for several months in a row, and the first time she appeared was on May 13th. So we've already talked about the three children that she appeared to, Lucia and her two cousins, Francisco and Jacinta. Today we're going to talk about what the apparition of Mary actually was, what the children saw when Mary appeared to them. So first of all, the three children, of course, had an angel appear to them for several months before Mary appeared to them. And through this angel, they learned how to pray. They also, in a big way, were preparing for seeing Mary when she appeared to them. And so on May 13th, 1917, the three children were out with their sheep in a pasture near where their family lived. And this, of course, happened in Fatima, Portugal. So they were out there when all of a sudden a woman appeared to them. She appeared near the top of a small tree that was in their sheep's pasture. The woman, they describe her as radiating light, as being brilliantly bright. She wore a white mantle that was trimmed with gold, and she held a rosary. Lucia also described her as very beautiful. Now, at the beginning of the apparitions, the visions, this woman did not say who she was. Now, we can guess, of course, that she was Mary because she was holding a rosary, but she did not confirm this to the children until many months later. The children, of course, were surprised and a little bit scared when Mary appeared to them, but she was very gentle, and mostly during the times that she appeared to them, she simply urged them to pray. She repeatedly told the children to pray the rosary every day. Now, in 1917, especially in Europe, things were not very good. Europe was in the middle of the First World War. Many people died throughout all of Europe during this war. In fact, they oftentimes say that a whole generation of men died. It was a horrible war. Mary told the children, and remember, they were children, she told them they needed to pray the rosary every single day to pray for peace and to an end to the war. She also told them that they needed to return to this spot so that she might continue to appear to them on the 13th of every month. Now, the children, wondering who this woman was, asked who she was. And although she didn't answer, they continued to ask questions. They asked, for example, if they would go to heaven when they died. Mary responded that yes, they would go to heaven when they died, but Francisco, he would have to pray many rosaries to get there. And so that was what Mary looked like when she first appeared to the children in Fatima. She also warned them not to tell anybody about her appearances. However, Jacinta went home and told her mother about it. She just couldn't keep it a secret. Her mother didn't believe her, and in fact, she only told the neighbors about it as a bit of a joke, like her daughter was telling her crazy stories. However, the children continued to see the apparition of Mary on the 13th of the month, and many people began to believe. In fact, eventually, tons and tons of people would follow them to the pasture each month on the 13th. Now, not everyone was supportive of the children seeing the apparitions of Mary. In fact, Lucia's mother treated her horribly and did not believe her, called her a liar. Also, local government officials tried to repress the children going to see these visions, thinking that they were causing some sort of a public disturbance. The children, in fact, did not make it to the pasture to see Mary on the 13th of August. Instead, they were taken without their parents to a local jail where they were questioned and even threatened with death if they didn't recount their story. And yet the children remained faithful and they continued to go to the pasture to see the apparition of Mary. And so, Sprouts, if you remember, we are just having one challenge this week, and it's simply to pray a rosary, the whole thing. So if you have yet to do that, remember, I am challenging you to do that this week as we talk about Our Lady of Fatima. Make time to do it, and remember that Mary challenged even children to pray the rosary when she appeared to them in Fatima. That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God intended you to be. And finally, a quick note to the grown-ups. First of all, thank you for listening to the Catholic Sprouts podcast. I ask that you please consider sharing this podcast with another Catholic family you know. Send them an email, a text, or simply mention it the next time you see them. Please join me in the mission of helping each Catholic child truly sprout into the wonderful human that God created them to be.